Suicide is not biased. You know, anyone can be affected by it.
Experts say the need for mental health services has never been greater, and they want to meet everyone where they are. It's why local organization that answers calls from the National Suicide and Crisis Hotline will now start answering texts as well.
That's a great way to expand this. They're actually the first in Arkansas to do this. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer shares the impact that they hope to make, especially for kids and teens as they extend their reach beyond a phone call.
Leah Markin with the Arkansas Crisis Center describes 988 just like 911, but instead for mental health emergencies.
We want to restore hope, empower people, and save lives through suicide and crisis intervention.
The organization answers those calls locally, but they're rolling out a new feature.
So this is thank you for reaching out to 988 Lifeline. We're here to help by continuing to text with us.
Right now, you can text 988, but you'd be directed to someone at a national backup center. But starting February 11th, it'll be easier to get help locally.
We'll actually be going to crisis counselors located in the state who are a little bit more familiar with resources and a variety of things that might be available here.
One of the reasons they need this feature is to connect with the generations that are growing up with cell phones.
For youth ages 10 and up, suicide is currently listed as the second leading cause of death. We had heard that 40% of the texts and chats that currently come into 988 are youth ages 20 and under.
So 988 has opened the door in a new way that we haven't experienced before.
Sage Small, a mental health counselor, says this is a great option for allowing people to feel comfortable to ask for help and have a direct resource to find help around you.
You may be in a situation where you can't place that phone call or you're scared to place that phone call because of something that's going on around you or just where your location is at that moment. It's obviously going to be a lot easier for me to do that where you're located and with the resources I know than if I'm looking for somewhere 2 or 3 hours away.
They're both hoping they can save even more lives with a call or now a text.
And we want to make sure that people understand suicide doesn't have to be their only choice.
Covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
And again, you'll be able to text 988 and get connected with local resources beginning on February 11th. And you can always call 988 as well.
Triple murder trial getting underway today in Madison County. Hunter Chenoweth accused of killing his mom, his sister, and stepdad in February of 2021. After 4 years of delays, a jury is now hearing the case with attorneys on both sides giving their opening statements today. Prosecutors called about a dozen witnesses on this first day of the trial. They showed video of him admitting to shooting and killing his mom, Tammy Lynn Chenoweth, his stepfather, James McGee, and his sister, Cheyenne, at a home in the Wesley community of Madison County. Prosecutors say they are seeking the death penalty in this case. They expect the trial to last well into next week. Happening right now, Arkansas State Police have expanded an Amber Alert to Arkansas. 16-year-old Sophia Franklin from Wisconsin is believed to be with 40-year-old Gary Day from Lonoke County. Police believe they could be in this car, a 2014 black Buick LaCrosse sedan, one that looks like this, with Arkansas or Pennsylvania license plates. Sophia was last seen on Monday in Wisconsin, is now believed to be with Day. She is 3 months pregnant, and Day is believed to be the father. Her family had no contact order against Day back in December.
Today, Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders shared a proposal to invest more than $45 million in maternal health care improvements every year. That bill would create presumptive Medicaid eligibility for expecting moms, meaning women can receive prenatal care while they're completing their Medicaid application. It also offers 70% increased reimbursements for traditional deliveries and C-sections and reimbursement options for doulas and community health workers.
You know, I think it's a big jump to include that prenatal coverage and to ensure that we have presumptive eligibility for moms who are pregnant and seeking care. We know, as the governor said, that a lot of moms don't seek any care throughout their entire pregnancies. So this can have a huge effect on outcomes.
The legislation would also ensure Medicaid coverage for up to 14 prenatal and postnatal care visits and telehealth appointments for moms in more rural areas. A bill aimed at taking cell phones out of Arkansas public schools clears another hurdle today in the state capitol, but not without some pushback. The bill would require public schools to have a policy banning students from using a personal electronic device while on school property during school hours. Well, today some lawmakers had questions about exceptions for things like taking school pictures at events and educational uses.
A lot of kids want to remember their memories of that pep rally, of that homecoming, of that field trip.
If the school doesn't have that digital camera to borrow, you can't bring your own onto campus, it's going to make it harder to get those projects done.
There's going to be conveniences lost because of this, but I promise you it's worth it. It's worth it for the fullness and the beauty of what we're trying to do and what we're charged to do in this atmosphere and environment.
The bill does include exceptions for emergencies, extracurricular activities, and students with health problems. It now goes before the Arkansas House of Representatives for a vote. A plan to end affirmative action in Arkansas is now heading back to the Senate. The House passed a version of Senate Bill 3 today that includes an additional amendment to the language. The Senate will now have to sign off on it before it can reach the governor's desk. The bill would ban discrimination on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in Arkansas government and publicly funded institutions.
It is no secret that the U of A continues to grow with record enrollment year after year, and now neighbors are concerned that growth will spill over into a planned 7-story development. Project would be right on Dixon Street between Church and Block Avenues. It's being touted as an affordable housing option for all with 185 units and more than 600 bedrooms. But neighbors think it's more likely it become a place for student housing. University currently has more than 30,000 students, but only 7,100 beds to offer on and off campus.
They're not going down and walking and shopping at the bodegas and the retail shops and eating at the fine dining. They're just simply not. And when they occupy more of the space down here than the customers that we want, it really negatively impacts our business.
You have to keep in mind that these may need to be retrofitted for just regular housing, and oftentimes they're not easy to convert.
Area residents and businesses owners also say they're worried about historic preservation and increased traffic. Planning Commission will talk about this development on Monday.
A Rogers organization that helps people with disabilities is celebrating 50 years of service this week. Open Avenues is hosting an open house tomorrow in Rogers. Anyone is invited to stop by between 9 to 11 or 2 to 3 for a tour.
Just the testament to being around for 50 years. That is a real blessing for a nonprofit to have that support from the community and that many people believing in our mission to give us the opportunity to do what we do for that long.
Tomorrow's celebration will also include the unveiling of a new mural reflecting Open Avenue's mission to empower people with disabilities.